Hello and welcome to Channels Book Club. I'm Olakunle Kasumu. Thank you for joining us once again. Today we've got a guest you have seen on this show before, one we are always happy to have. He has an exciting new book we'll be looking at soon. Also on the show is a retirement event, if you may, of an academic icon and orthodontist, Professor Michael Isekwe. During the event, his new book titled My Odyssey was publicly released. We'll be showing you this later on the show, so please look out for that. If you have been missing our brain teasers, worry not, we'll be back next week. But for now, let's get cracking today by introducing our guest author and book of the week. Now, imagine traveling to all of Nigeria's 774 local governments across the country's 36 states, taking pictures of monuments, historical locations, and fascinating geographical spots. Imagine crisscrossing the road networks, traveling on boats and canoes, flying at times. Imagine seeing all the hills, mountains, rivers, falls, canals, palaces, shrines, artifacts, remnants of fallen empires, and so on. These are what Dayo Adedayo has experienced, and he has ended up with over 4 million photographs on Nigeria. Over 4 million. Amazing. Adedayo's trips around Nigeria have turned him into a foremost photo historian and culture activist. He spends a lot of his time these days selling the potential, beauty, history, and culture of Nigeria. You will often catch him advocating for turning Nigeria into a massive tourist zone. Well, his latest book is this one titled Owe Yoruba 2.0. Owe means proverbs. Owe Yoruba 2.0. It is a book that challenges Nigerians to pay attention to their indigenous languages, identity, and culture. Nigerian languages are rich in proverbs, and much wisdom is hidden and shared in those proverbs. Yoruba history, particularly, is one that is woven in proverbs, and in this particular book, Dayo Adedayo shares some of the proverbs that are famous in Yoruba culture. Then he translates them and interprets their meanings. One thing that makes this book special is that each proverb comes with a photo taken by the author at one time or another, making the book one of proverbs, culture, and photography. Dayo Adedayo joined us to explore his new book. In this interview, you will discover from the way I read Yoruba how I am very much one of those who has not helped enough in preserving our languages and culture. Guilty as charged. Enjoy this. Dayo Adedayo, nice to have you on Channels Book Club.
Oh, thank you for having me again.
Great to have you here.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure. So now this one, Yoruba proverbs, very rich.
Thank you.
The Yoruba language is really rich, and your book brought that, to the fore again. I was just reading through it, and I said, "Wow, Yoruba is deep."
That's right.
Extremely deep. Now, it was inspired by your grandmother. I can see her photo here. And is that your grandfather?
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
Okay. And you grew up with her?
Yes, I spent about 6-7 years of my life with her, and those years made me where I am today. Yes.
Was that when you picked up Yoruba language, Yoruba proverbs, Yoruba culture?
That was when I picked up most of the things that I know today. I was about age 8 then. Yes, age 8.
When you started living with her?
Yeah. Not really. I started living with her from age 5 or 6, if I remembered, because my parents were living outside the country then. And in those days, children always lived with their grandparents. Very industrious woman.
And Mama was churning out.
Yeah, because mainly she speaks in, she was a trader.
Okay.
And she speaks mainly in proverbs in those days. The elders of those days, if she's alive now, she'll be over 120 or so.
Whoa.
Years, so.
Okay, so she inspired,
Yeah, she inspired me a lot.
and that was when you caught. She spoke to you in Proverbs.
Absolutely. Everything.
Yoruba is about Proverbs.
That's right.
I mean, real Yoruba is about Proverbs.
Yes. And if you read Professor Sophie Oluwole, may her soul rest in peace, in one of her books, she said, Orunmila himself is better than Aristotle, the greatest philosopher in Europe that we know.
Yeah.
But because our language is not written, our words are not written, you know, when we do not document. I mean, look at Ifa, for example. Ifa is about 21 times the size of the Bible. It's not written. And you have to know, imagine you know Genesis to Revelation, 21 times. So you can imagine the depth of knowledge that is in the Yoruba word that we've lost. But those are the little things that propel me to say, okay, the little that I have, because let me just give it, because if you have something and you cannot impact on people, at the end of the day, you just came to the world and you left with nothing. It's not about how much, but how well. That's what I say, and that is what led to Owe Yoruba.
I've got a guest I've had on this show a few times. We've spoken about the Igbo language, and he's done fantastic work trying to document the value of the Igbo language and so on. I mean, maybe this conversation is inspiring me to bring him back. Really. Now, let's look at a few proverbs here. For those out there who are not into Yoruba, they need not worry, because what you've done here is you take the proverbs, you give the interpretations. I mean, the direct translations, yes, and then you now interpret.
That's right.
So the Yoruba proverb, the translation, and then the interpretation of the proverb. Fantastic. And then each one comes with a photo.
That's the beauty of it.
That's the beauty of it.
That's right.
So what you did was, I'm sure you wrote down the proverb.
No.
And then went to look for a photo that fitted.
No. If I do that, I'll do that for 1,000 years.
What did you do?
So the pictures come before the proverbs.
Oh, you got the photos and then thought about the proverb
that fits into the pictures.
Excellent. Okay, so let's look at a few. Page 22, a few ones I've picked out that I like.
22.
Page 22.
Yeah.
And this is where I embarrass myself.
Okay.
Yeah, to the whole of Nigeria, because my Yoruba reading is disgraceful. Okay, so in page 22, you said Ti Odeba ro ishe.
Ro ishe.
No. Ti Odeba ro ishe.
Yeah.
To ro iya.
That's right.
Tí ó bá dé ilé, kò ní fún ẹnikẹ́ni ní ẹran jẹ.
That's right.
Okay, let's help out those who don't understand this. Okay. What does it mean?
If the hunter should think about the pain and suffering he went through, when he gets home, he won't give anyone meat to eat from his hunting.
This is so hilarious. But it's true.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, if you look at the proverbs, if you look at the image here, this was in Borno State in 2005.
Whoa.
We were going back to Maiduguri, not very far away from the Sambisa forest people are talking about now. And this sandstorm just came from nowhere. If you put your palm in front of you, you won't be able to see it. Of course, we can't go back, neither can we go forward. So I was forced to sleep in the desert, in the open, with my crew members. So now imagine me coming back home and say, because I've suffered so much, nobody should share part of my money.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. Yes. If the hunter should think about the pain and suffering he went through, when he gets home, he wouldn't give anyone meat to eat from his hunting. You can only walk alone, but the reward is for everybody. That's deep.
Just like you're walking now.
That's deep. My children are chopping everything. Okay, now, let's see. Page 26. What do we have there? 26. Page 26.
Okay, one of my favorites.
Oh, yeah, please read this one for me, I beg.
Okay. Oh, Shaggy Logbe. Oh, ta oguro lofa. Ode idi ope. Ogbenu soke. She of any ro.
Please interpret. You did not cut through the palm tree, neither did you pierce it with an arrow. Yet, on getting under it, you opened your mouth wide, expecting palm wine. Does palm wine drip without efforts?
Nothing ventured.
Nothing gained. That's it.
Yes.
And then what do you have in page 30? Maybe we do that.
Page 30. Yeah, this is very philosophical.
I love the photo you have here.
Yeah, this was taken on the Lake Chad in 2006.
You've been everywhere in this country.
All the 774 local governments.
Snapping away pictures.
Yes, yes.
Wow.
Creating pictures.
Wow.
Ojú ọ̀run tó ẹyẹ fò láì fi apá kan ara wọn.
The sky is big enough for all birds to fly without colliding.
That's right.
And what was the translation?
There is enough
interpretation,
room.
rather.
There is enough room for each and everyone to do their own thing without being in the way of one another.
Everybody can be a star.
Absolutely.
Everybody can fly.
Everybody can fly.
You don't need to break your head because somebody else is flying. You can also fly.
That's right.
Ojú ọ̀run tó ẹyẹ fò. I mean, there can be millions of birds flying.
But they never collide.
But they never collide.
No.
That's incredible. Page 34. Let me try my Yoruba there again. Ẹni máa mú ọ̀bọ, á ṣe bí ọ̀bọ.
Yeah, that's a common one.
Whoever wants to catch a monkey will have to act like a monkey.
That's right.
And what's the interpretation there?
Success is by keeping your eyes on the ball. You know, it's like saying any majo inú àpáta kò gbọdọ̀ wo ẹnu àáké. You know, the person that is going to eat the honey from the rock should not look at the ass. You know, of course, it will take you several days, months, or years to get to the point where the honey is inside the rock.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't bother yourself looking at the tip of the ass. Otherwise, you give up and you won't be able to. Yes.
But there's another way you can also interpret this. Ẹni máa mú ọ̀bọ, á ṣe bí ọ̀bọ. Like in the scripture where you have to the Romans, I became a Roman or something like that.
Okay.
And to the Greeks, I became a Greek. So, ẹni máa mú ọ̀bọ, á ṣe bí ọ̀bọ. So at times you need to play the parts to get what you want.
Absolutely.
Can't we interpret that as?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same thing. You just look like a fool and you get just to get to your
play the
destination.
fool to get what you want to get.
Just like saying, ẹ jẹ́ kí n wá pé wèrè lọ́kọ ìyàwó tó lè jẹ́ kó ráyè kọjá.
What's the interpretation of that?
The meaning, interpretation of that is,
the translation.
The translation is you call the madman the husband of your wife. Of course, when he hears that, he'll be very happy. Oh,
so that I can catch.
So you will be able to pass him, to just let you pass go.
Oh.
Once you pass go, well, that's it.
That's it. Okay. You know? Okay. Now, page 32. What do you have in page 32?
32.
This
is another famous one.
Okay, please read this one.
Kòkòrò tó ń jẹ ẹ̀fọ́, inú ẹ̀fọ́ ló wà.
The insects that eat away the vegetable live inside the vegetable. The person, and this is the interpretation, the person who will harm you is usually one of those close to you. Deadly.
Yeah, that's it.
Deadly.
You know, it's the same thing as ilé ni ọ̀tá wà. Ẹ̀yìnkùlé ni ọ̀tá wà. Ilé ni aṣeni ń gbé. That the enemy lives in the backyard. But the person that is going to harm you lives within you inside the house.
Judas. Huh?
That's it.
Eats with you, sleeps with you, drinks with you, you know, whatever. Kòkòrò tó ń jẹ ẹ̀fọ́, inú ẹ̀fọ́ ló wà. Yeah, I mean, think about that. The insects that destroy vegetables, they are inside. I mean, you find them
right on the
right. Yeah, right in there. Interesting. Page 36. And this is really interesting. Let me try that. Ìgbín ò lè sáré bí ajá.
Yes.
Ìyẹn ò ní kó má dé ibi tó ń lọ.
That's right.
What's the translation there?
The snail is truly not as fast as the dog. Yet, this won't stop the snail from getting to its destination.
So, the snail may not be as fast as the dog, but the snail will get to where it's going.
That's right.
That's true.
So,
Huh? So
compare yourself with no one.
we are all differently endowed. Copy or envy, no one. Why does the snail want to become a dog?
Just like the sun trying to become the moon.
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
But we do it all the time.
And that is one of the reasons where we are in Nigeria. That is why people commit fraud, 419, all sort of things. But guess what? They don't last for more than 10 years.
Page 10. What do you have in page 10 there?
Page 10. Okay. This is the first proverb in Yoruba.
It's the most, and probably the most famous.
It's the famous because that is the whole essence of Yoruba proverbs. And guess what? When you are with an adult, the junior ones are not meant to speak in proverbs. You keep quiet. And if there is need for you to say anything in proverbs, you take permission from the elders to say, oh, please permit me to say this, because proverbs are meant for the elders.
Is that Yoruba culture?
Yeah, that's Yoruba culture. So that is why you say, Toba she bi owe. I mean, Toba je bi owe, ẹ gbà mí láyè.
Please let me, please allow me to speak.
Allow me to speak in proverbs.
Because it is not for you to speak.
No, it's not for you. It's because
only the elders.
Only the elders, because the elders have heard a lot.
Oh, we have lost our culture.
And now, this tense says, Òwe lẹṣin ọ̀rọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ lẹṣin òwe. Tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá sọnù, òwe ni a fi ń wá.
My Yoruba is not bad, is it?
No, it's not. We are doing very well, actually.
So Proverbs, the interpretation of that is, Proverbs are the horses of communication. If communication is lost, Proverbs are what one uses to find it. Huh?
That's right.
Òwe lẹṣin ọ̀rọ̀, ọ̀rọ̀ lẹṣin òwe, tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá sọnù. Is that second part that I love? Tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá sọnù, òwe ni a fi ń wá. If communication is lost, Proverbs are what you use to find them. So effective discourse is impossible without resort to Proverbs.
That's right.
Reading your book, going through your book reminds me of how wealthy Nigeria is in terms of culture, language, and all that. And recently I've been doing food, trying my hands on different, food types. And it's amazing, how much we have in this country, untapped.
All that is needed is just one person to harness all these energies, culture, tradition, monuments, history, put everything together. And the way I'm looking at it is this. Nigeria is the largest black nation on earth. It has always been. Majority of the blacks in the diasporas were captured from Nigeria into slavery. Now imagine if Nigeria should be good today. Those blacks that are tired of living in diaspora, if they come back to motherland, they're coming back with the expertise, with money, their home money, to put into the economy. And what we are looking at, in the space of 5 to 10 years, Nigeria could be a show for the rest of the world to see.
Unfortunately, we have to stop here. Thank you so much, Dayo Adedayo. Thank you. The iconic photographer. And thank you for all this you are churning out for us and for our children's children.
Thank you.
It's great to have you on Channels Book Club again.
Thank you, and good to see you.
We really need to work hard to ensure our languages don't die. So much treasure in them. Now, let's show you a report on the valedictory event of an academic and medical icon, which included the release of his new book. It was a celebration of the life and times of Professor Michael Isekwe, an academic and medical icon whose professional achievements have won him much international accolades. A valedictory and book launch program was held in honor of the first professor of orthodontics in Nigeria. The physical venue was his base, Lagos State University Teaching Hospital, LUF.
She's the fifth of 8 children. She's an offspring of the illustrious Durosimeti family.
Guest lecturers joining the event virtually via Skype had good things to say about the valedictorian.
Along the way, Bas happened chance to come and give us a lecture at the University of Ibadan. Now, when he came in, we saw a friendly, jolly man. And that was my first impression of Professor Isikwe.
Please, a big round of applause.
Alongside Professor Isikwe's valedictory program was the launch of his book, My Odyssey, which was reviewed by Professor Emmanuel Ajayi.
Adventurous, bold, daring, audacious, brave. This is exactly what Professor Isikwe's life and orthodontic journey has been. Challenging, inspiring, enviable, and fascinating.
It was time for the book to be unveiled. His citation was read by Professor I.L. Utomi.
Professor Michael Chukwudi Isiekwe's academic career started at the University of Lagos in 1980, and he was subsequently appointed an honorary consultant with the Lagos University Teaching Hospital the same year. He became a senior lecturer in 1983, rose through the ranks to associate professor in 1989, and he was appointed full chair as a professor of orthodontics at the University of Lagos in 1996, becoming the first professor of orthodontics in Nigeria and sub-Saharan Africa. I present to you a man with a large heart, very kind and compassionate, a gentleman of excellence, an erudite scholar, an exemplary leader, a teacher par excellence, a teacher of teachers, a super mentor, and the doyen of orthodontics in Nigeria, Professor Michael Chukwudi.
The celebrant and author was showered with love, awards, and gifts from colleagues, friends, and family. The Child Dental Health Department of the College of Medicine, University of Lagos, and the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, and several other well-wishers sent their goodwill messages and joined the memorable event via Skype. Members of the audience also had kind words to say about the celebrant. The event was spiced up with cake cutting, music, and more pictures.
In Christ alone, my hope is found. He is my light, my strength, my song. This cornerstone, this solid ground.
The man of the moment was ecstatic and had some words of gratitude.
I do not know how to start, and I do not know how to finish. I do not know who to thank and who not to thank. The whole thing is overwhelming. I was coming to come and say thank you, but I'm overwhelmed with the goodwill that has poured in from everywhere.
And there was more music and dancing. After all, it was a joyous occasion. I hope you have had a good time with us today. As always, we'll be delighted to get your feedback through any of our social media platforms displayed on your screen. I'm Olakunle Kasumo. Remember, one great book can change your life. Bye-bye.